What's up, guys? It's Buddy Lee Cunningham again. I'm back to tell you about something that I talked about on my channel before. If you go on my channel, you'll see that I've got a video on an inventory list for your house. I just wanted to touch base on that. Here recently we had another payday and we went through and did our grocery list. And last time, I think on our house supplies we ended up spending over $100. This time around we ended up spending like 33. So far it is working out. I still haven't got my food meal plan set up yet. We kind of wrote it out on a piece of paper, but we haven't actually got it down as far as an inventory list yet. But I'm currently headed to the store because we ran out of chips whenever we made tacos last week. But I think we're going to write out a 2-week plan, get that going, hopefully save some money on food. My wife and I are actually planning on a trip to Florida or Alabama in the next couple months. And basically we are not doing anything. It's almost as if we don't have any money. So I'm going to be doing, basically I get my paycheck, I give 10% to the church, put 10% in savings, and then I pay, get the groceries, and then I pay all my bills, and then when I'm done with that, we will then put anything left over into savings, and we'll save it for the next couple of months. And my wife is actually taking up a couple of bar shifts, so that way she can make a couple of dollars here and there to put towards the trip, so that way we don't have to take out a loan or put it on credit or anything. And this is partially why I made this channel, because I want to talk to you guys about making your life efficient. And one way to do that is to be debt-free. Tell your money where to go, and intentionally spend your money, not walking around like a zombie shopper and just swiping your card every time you turn around. The only thing I buy is what I need out of my paycheck. Everything else will go into savings, or I'll pull it out in cash for something. Like right now, because we're going on this trip, everything's going into savings because I want to be able to fully fund this trip without actually having to, you know, like I said, put it on credit. But when we're not going on trips, I normally pay all the bills, basically pay all the expenses, and then I turn around and take the extra cash out, so I have cash on hand, so I don't actually spend too much on my card. I don't overdraft my bank ever. My bills are always paid 100% on time, and I don't have anybody coming after me saying that I owe them money. I don't owe anybody money. And I honestly can attest to the debt-free life being the best way of life as far as your finances are concerned. So, and I can honestly say this without a doubt because I was in debt. The truck that I'm driving in right now, I was actually paying $360 a month at 22% interest. So that was on a 4-year loan. So basically, whenever I bought this truck, I was making about $26,000 a year, and I'd just gotten a promotion. And that's another thing. Whenever you get a promotion, it doesn't mean you spend more money. Start saving that money, put it back, and if you want to buy a vehicle, then pay cash for it. I was young and stupid, and I was like, well, I just got a promotion, I'm gonna go ahead and go buy a new vehicle. I just paid off my car that I actually financed from a buy here pay here car lot. For those of you who don't know, who aren't from Arkansas, it's called Car Mart. And I went down there and I was paying 12% interest on this car, which I thought was bad at the time. And then I got this truck. Well, come to find out, because they didn't report my payments to the credit bureau through that other car, I ended up having to have a co-signer, which was my dad. Ultimately, he ended up having to take over the payments after 2 years of me paying it, because I found Dave Ramsey and I wanted to be debt free. I was trying to sell the truck but couldn't sell it for what I needed to. And had I sold it, I would still owe money on it for what people were telling me or offering me or whatever. And then, you know, it just wasn't a good outcome for me. But so I decided to talk to my stepdad about it, and I said, hey, seeing as how your name is already on the truck and you need a vehicle, why don't you take over the payment of the truck? And all you've got to do is switch all the insurance information over to your name, because at the time I think I was on my parents' insurance. So he did that for 2 years, and I borrowed their car, which was a V6 Mustang. Had no AC. This truck has no AC right now, by the way, and I've got one window down so that way I can get some air. But this car had no AC. Transmission was going out on it. The motor was about to freaking blow up, and I finally decided that I needed a vehicle that would carry some kids or a family, because I had just gotten married to my wife. We had a daughter and a kid on the way, my son Abel, and I needed something that would hold all of us. Obviously, a Mustang is not going to be a vehicle that's very conducive to those situations. So I gave the vehicle back. They ended up selling it for $1,000, which had it been better taken care of, they probably would have sold it for maybe twice that much, maybe $2,500. But anyway, they sold that, and then I saved up $100 a paycheck for the next 2 or 3 years. My dad let me use this truck. He didn't need it. He had a work truck. He let me use it. It was still theirs. And I saved up for 2 years, 2, maybe 3 years, $5,400. That's what it was worth on Blue Book value for the least amount. $5,400. I paid cash, and this truck went from being a curse to a blessing because now it's paid off. I don't owe a payment on it. I don't owe anybody. The only thing I do is pay insurance and property taxes every year on it. And I now have the money to be able to put away. If something were to go wrong, I could fix it. So basically, I would encourage anybody who is having money struggles, do that simple plan. Just watch Dave Ramsey videos on YouTube. They will basically, if you watch enough of them, you'll kind of get the idea. Basically, you get your paycheck. If you go to church, then you'll give 10% to your church, and then you turn around, you put 10% in savings. When you're done with that, you take care of all your stuff first before you pay anybody else. Take care of your food, your house, your utilities, and then you pay your, sorry, this guy looks like he's about to hit me. Then you pay your, your debt that you owe. I would strongly advise you to pay it off, because that extra money every month could go towards something and could actually help somebody out, yourself or somebody else. And it's changed my life in so many ways. I will never ever finance another vehicle ever again, because I literally cursed this truck every time I walked up into the driveway and I saw it sitting there. I'm like, really wish I didn't have that payment. Like, was it really worth financing this truck? Or could I just had some self-discipline and saved up a little every paycheck and just paid it off? So anyway, that's my message for today, guys. If you liked the video, punch that like button. Subscribe if you haven't, and ding the bell so you make sure you get your notifications. If you guys have any more questions to make more, interesting content, then hit that bell, ask me some questions. Basically just bring up some topics to talk about. I'm here to talk about life, money, marriage, kids, anything that I've got going on in my life. I'm willing to talk about. I'm willing to be open about, and maybe my story can help you, and maybe your story can help somebody else. So anyway, peace. I'll see you guys tomorrow.